Live in Western Oregon, this is NBC 16 News at 6:30.
First at 6:30, a corporate jet skids off the runway at Southwest Regional Airport in North Bend, putting the plane in the bay and sending 5 people to the hospital. Good evening. Thanks for joining us for NBC 16 News at 6:30. I'm Alan Matthews.
And I'm Gold Meadows. Tonight, we're learning more about the plane crash this morning at the Southwest Oregon Regional Airport.
Now, 5 people rescued from the side of the crash, all taken to a local hospital. NBC 16's Rigo Aguilera spoke with the hospital and the airport about the incident and how the plane's occupants are doing.
Crews worked to remove a plane from Coos Bay after it skid off the runway at Southwest Regional Airport on Monday. The airport says it's still looking into why it happened.
He was on the ground and skidded off the end of the runway. So I don't know if it was an equipment issue. We know that the pilot did take evasive measures to avoid some critical navigational components at the end of the runway.
An investigation is currently underway. The airport says it has been preparing for a scenario like this and that emergency services were able to handle the situation swiftly. The plane is considered a corporate jet meant to only hold a few passengers. Some of the passengers have already been released from the hospital. The 5 patients have only been treated for minor injuries, according to the Bay Area Hospital. 1 patient was transferred to another hospital for services Bay Area can't provide, while 3 others were discharged and 1 is still receiving care in-house.
This is our first real big event, I would say, in the 2.5 years I've been here. We did just probably 6 months ago, multi-agency did a drill of exactly this. So actually having this happen this morning, my first question was, is this for real? And our emergency manager was like, no, I'm not running a drill this morning.
The hospital says the 3 discharged patients will need some follow-up treatment from the crash. The Southwestern Oregon Regional Airport says it will provide further details on what led to the crash as the investigation continues. In North Bend, I'm Rigo Aguilera.
People allegedly setting off illegal fireworks led to drug, gun, and assault arrests near O'Hara Catholic School. It happened this morning near West 15th Avenue and Jefferson Street. Police were initially responding to a call of shots fired. The Eugene Police Department says a patrolling officer was flagged down by someone claiming to have been assaulted. A search caught up with 2 people matching the descriptions given. Police say one of them, 23-year-old Emilio Jonathan Tobin, was carrying a concealed gun. Tobin had recently been convicted on felony weapons charges. Police say a further search also found cash and a powder believed to be cocaine. The department says Tobin and 21-year-old Devin Roy Douster, along with an unidentified third man, were setting off fireworks in the area when a homeowner confronted them and Tobin punched him. Tobin and Douster were both booked into the Lane County Jail. Tobin for assault, felon in possession of a firearm, possession of cocaine, and other drug-related charges. Douster was booked for disorderly conduct.
After more than 3 decades of alternative crisis intervention, Cahoots is no longer responding to calls in Eugene.
Reporter Tiffany Lewis spoke to the county and Whitebird Clinic, which runs the program, to learn more.
Whitebird Clinic officially ended Cahoots services within Eugene city limits on Monday, marking a major turning point in how Eugene handles behavioral health emergencies.
I'm obviously disappointed. I had hopes that we wouldn't get cut.
At the end of March, Whitebird announced drastic cuts and layoffs for Cahoots in Eugene, citing a budget shortfall. Executive Director Amy Marquardt insists that the city's decision, due to Whitebird's inability to provide their full services, is a temporary solution. In the wake of Cahoots' Eugene departure, residents are being directed to Lane County's mobile crisis services. Each Lane County response team currently includes 2 qualified mental health associates. The program only provides behavioral health support, not medical care, though vans are equipped with Narcan for overdose emergencies.
I would say the majority of the calls that we receive currently are coming out of Eugene, Springfield. However, we are seeing a significant increase in calls to Oak Ridge, Blue River, and Cottage Grove. Those have been our leading areas of growth since we started in August of last year.
All services are free with no insurance required. If available, the county will collect insurance details to bill Medicaid, but no one is denied care for lack of insurance. Some Cahoots roles, such as first aid or non-emergency medical care, welfare checks, and housing-related interventions, will not be covered under Lane County's model.
So I think that there's going to be a gap, and I think the county's going to do the best job they can. It's not going to always meet the needs of our community, but we have to try our best, and maybe this will highlight needs that the community has.
To address increasing demand, Lane County will expand service hours by the end of April from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily, with plans to go 24/7 by June. In a joint press release, the city and Whitebird said they remain open to mutual partnership. There's no timeline for when Cahoots might return to Eugene. In the meantime, residents are gearing up to provide community-driven support.
I think it's important to be the ones to check in on your community members that you know are struggling, to have grace for them, to know that these are hard times for everybody.
Whitebird's leadership reiterated their commitment to restoring Cahoots services as they continue to search for sustainable funding solutions. In Eugene, Tiffany Lewis reporting.
Whitebird Clinic services will continue in Springfield from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. 7 days a week. The Whitebird Crisis Hotline is operating at reduced from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Moving now to weather with a live look over Eugene tonight. Alan Matthews has a first look at your forecast, and I know we're going to get a little warmth, but more chill in the air.
Yeah, I got a few more days of that. Keep in mind, we set a record high on Saturday, dropped about 20 degrees on Sunday, and we did rebound a little bit for the day today. Let's show you what's going on right now, though, as we're at 56 degrees. A few showers right now moving through. A south-southwest wind at 16. Again, we've seen some gusts around 30 miles per hour during the afternoon, and our humidity at 55%. Not a lot to show you with the radar satellite this evening. We are seeing, again, some cloud cover and a few isolated showers pushing their way across the area. And we're going to be looking at more rain tonight and into your day on Tuesday. Those overnight temperatures in the mid to upper 40s. Highs tomorrow will be in the mid to upper 50s along I-5. In fact, we could not only see the rainfall tomorrow, but also a thunderstorm could be mixed in there. Now, we are looking at this brief warm-up as we get toward the middle of the week, Wednesday and Thursday, and then some scattered showers toward the end of the week. It's not a big chance of rain, but it is something we are keeping an eye on as we get closer to that event. We'll break it all down with your full forecast in just a bit. Gold?
Thanks, Alan. They're rare and often striking in appearance, but one animal sanctuary in Eugene says wolf dogs shouldn't even exist. The nonprofit's founder tells us being ill-prepared for owning one can be unsafe for both the dog and the community. Lore, formerly named Killian, and his brother Declan are 5-year-old wolf hybrid dogs. Crux Sanctuary's owner, Mara Watson, says Crux had been trying to get the pups since their owner died early last year. It wasn't until a Christmas Day attack against a smaller dog that the medium-content wolf hybrids will be placed in Crux's care.
Green Hill had called us in the past and asked us if we would take them months before that. So we had built a pen out in Veneta for those dogs, and then when we went to get them, the daughter wasn't ready to let them go. And it was Christmas Day, they got out again, and then she was faced with some charges, and so she was ready to get them off of her plate.
The dogs are now adjusting to a new home at Crux, where a number of hybrids, both dogs and cats, have found rehabilitation and proper training to be rehomed. But Watson says the dogs shouldn't be bred, and people without the necessary conditions for the dog shouldn't own them.
At the core, they're hunters. So that means that they are tracking, killing, eating, they're figuring out survival all the time. Wolves are. And so that part of them needs enrichment. And for any dog, I would say, it's not just the wolf dogs. It's so important to research the breed before you get them, because all the rescues are full. There's not a rescue in town that has space. The shelters don't have space.
Many of the animals that come to Crux are either breeder castaways or those from owners without the means to care for them. Pamela Mathis has fostered for Crux on her ranch for the last 3 years.
They were abused, but that's not the dog's fault. And I've had some that were very tentative, and I built a special cage for them, and they were so scared of me. And I went in there and I didn't approach them. I let them approach me, and I was very slow with them. You just want to give them the respect that they deserve.
It's definitely a life change. You have to be willing to be active and really get out and make sure the dogs get enough energy.
They need hours of exercise off leash, and the average fence won't keep them in because they're great climbers. Even with experience fostering since 2018 and becoming a sanctuary in 2020, Watson says Lore bit her. She says in the battle between his wolf nature and dog nature, the wolf won while attempting to get his food faster.
They're not something you stick on a shelf. They make people's lives miserable when they tear up and damage and ruin things because they're just trying to get what they need. But people get them when they shouldn't, and they go through hell.
After thorough vetting, Crux rehomes the dogs. Watson says adopting through rescues prevents breeders from making more hybrid dogs. It not only saves that dog, but it creates a space for the next dog in dire circumstances. And if you must use a breeder, Crux advises very strong vetting and looking out for red flags when going to a breeder. Some tips include always meet the parent dogs, be sure to see the environment the dog lives in, get references to ensure dogs from the breeder have fared well after adoption, and never go with a breeder who doesn't vet you.